Hey, what's up everybody? Chris Kerrigan here. Thanks for stopping by. Today on Making It with Chris, I'm going to show you how to make a simple yet delicious guacamole that's sure to be a crowd pleaser. Stick around to the end and I'll show you a really neat technique for serving that, as well as some tips for keeping that leftover guacamole, if there is any, as well as your leftover or extra avocado from turning brown. So let's get to it right now. Okay, to make this delicious simple guacamole, we're going to start with 2 avocados, couple of tablespoons of red onion, a Roma tomato seeded and diced, a clove of garlic, fresh lime juice, some salt, a couple of dashes of Worcestershire, as well as a couple dashes of Tabasco. Probably looking at 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire, about a teaspoon of Tabasco, but you're going to play with it. I tend to put a couple of dashes in first and then add to it later. You don't want to go overboard because you can't take it out. So I refer to this guacamole as the base model, if you will, because some of you may be saying, well, Chris, I see a lot more in guacamole, like cilantro or chili peppers. Some people don't like the flavor of cilantro. Some people aren't real keen on the heat from a pepper. So if you're bringing this guacamole to an office pitch-in or backyard neighborhood barbecue, this is sure to be a palate pleaser for everyone. Now you can always add in stuff like cilantro. This is, like I said, a common add-in. If you were to use cilantro, you're going to want to take the leaves from the stems, finely chop those up, looking at probably about a 1/4 cup. When it comes to peppers, I've got a couple varieties here that are common in your supermarket that you'll find. We've got a jalapeno, the Serrano, as well as a habanero. Peppers heats, they're measured by Scoville heat units. And to give you a baseline, a bell pepper comes in at right around 0, so no Scoville heat units, whereas the jalapeno comes in at 2,500 to 5,000 Scoville heat units. This Serrano is 6,000 to 23,000, and this little guy, this habanero, comes in at 100,000 to 350,000 Scoville heat units. So this little guy's smoking hot. So we're going to go ahead and put these aside and just start with the base model guacamole. Okay, so now you see what we're working with. Let's go ahead and get this all together. So we're going to start with the onion. Little pro tip on how to dice an onion. We're going to first slice pole to pole. So down this way, root to the stem. Then we're going to take our flat side, put it down. We've got our root end. And we're going to make a couple of parallel cuts to the cutting board. And we're going to be careful not to go all the way through. So 1, 2, and I think we can get one more here. We're going to be going for a pretty small dice. So then we'll turn it here and we'll go perpendicular to those cuts. Again, trying not to cut all the way through and keeping the onion intact. And turn it sideways. And the closer we cut to the tip of the onion, we'll go ahead and that's going to be some waste there. We're going to have a nice even dice. Now, if we were using peppers here, this is where we would cut those up as well, and we'd want to treat those very similar to how we did the tomato. They look very similar to the tomato on the inside. So I'll just go ahead and cut this jalapeno open to give you a view here, see what you might be working with. Okay, so you see it's got seeds in the ribs, just like the jalapeno. Now, if you choose to go for the peppers and you want the full heat, you want the full effect, go ahead and dice that with the seeds and stems, or excuse me, the ribs and seeds in there. That's going to give you the full heat. If not, if you want just the flavor without all that heat, you're still going to have some heat. Go ahead and remove that section there. and then give it a dice like we did with the tomato. I feel compelled to give a public service announcement regarding peppers. If you're going to be using these guys in your guacamole or anything, if you can, use gloves. If you don't use gloves, wash your hands with soap and water prior to engaging in any other activities outside of the kitchen. Seriously, wash your hands. So now moving on to the avocado. First of all, we can talk about how do you know when an avocado is ripe. You want to find avocados that give it that they yield slightly when you give them a little bit of a squeeze. You want to avoid squeezing with your fingertips because that's going to cause some bruising on the flesh inside. Also, you want to stay away from the ones that are real mushy. Those are past their prime. So what if here's an interesting thing that I read on the internet. What if you can't find any avocados that are perfectly ripe? They're hard as a rock. Well, on the internet, it says that you can put them in a 200-degree oven for about 10 minutes and they'll soften up and ripen up. Or you can put them in the microwave and that will do the same thing. Well, it will soften them up, but it will not ripen them up. They will still be unripened, but soft avocados that will taste like crap. So you can hasten the ripening process by putting them in a paper bag with an apple or a kiwi and letting them sit on the counter. Apples, kiwis, and avocados emanate ethylene, which helps hasten the process of ripening in an avocado. So skip the oven, the microwave, and the only thing you can do is hasten it by a couple of days. So be patient, it's going to be worth it. So how do we open an avocado? There's a big pit inside. We're going to take our knife, roll it all the way around. Give it a little twist and open it up. There we have our avocado. Run a spoon along the skin to scoop out the flesh. Being careful to keep the skins intact. I'll show you a little something with these skins here as soon as we're done. Now, what do we do about the pit that's there? Well, we could take a knife and whack it, turn it, but I'm not a big fan of swinging a sharp knife at something that I'm holding. So what if, let's just try this. Oh, look at that. The pit comes right out. So no need to swing a sharp, heavy knife at your hand. There we go. We could go with the old potato masher. Very common choice is a fork. Mash that up. Or you could use a whisk. Mash that up. However, today I'm going to be opting for a pastry knife. So we'll go ahead and just run this through. So there you have it. Simple, delicious guacamole. And let's see, what do we do? We showed you that pro tip on how to dice the onions and how to use the skins as a little serving dish for the guacamole. Now, the last couple of things that I said I'd share with you is what do you do with your leftover avocado? How do you keep that from getting brown? Well, you take a little dish. You could use a plate, put some water on it, and take your cut avocado and put it flesh side down in the water. Cover that, put it in the fridge, and you can come back the next day and it's not going to be brown. Also, what happens if you've got leftover guacamole? So you put that in a dish and take a spatula and make sure you get that all, pat that down and all nice and compacted. And then you're going to take some plastic wrap, like so, put that over the top, and you want to press that into your guacamole so it acts as an air barrier. So pressing it right in there. You need to make sure contact with the guacamole is made. Once you do that, you are good to go for the next day with your guacamole. So that's it. Simple, easy, delicious guacamole. And I think I'm gonna enjoy some. That is delicious. Till next time, everybody, be a good human being, have fun in the kitchen, put a smile on somebody's face, keep a smile on yours, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.